Welcome to Straight Out of Savannah, Talking with Tammi, a podcast that showcases people you may not know who are choosing to use their gifts to inspire and move the planet.
Thank you so much for joining us on Straight Out of Savannah with my guest, Eszylfie Taylor. He is an amazing young man. You're going to love him. He's going to share a little bit about who he is and what it is that he does and how he can help you. So, Eszylfie, take it away.
Thank you for the warm introduction. Eszylfie Taylor, the self-proclaimed biggest failure you've ever met in your life. I like to say every way you can mess up, fall on your face, stumble. I've done it, at least once. And I said, I've learned from it and got better. You see, I don't believe in winning and losing. I believe in winning and learning. And so I'm a student of life, student of I don't know, just growth and maturation. And I love this process. I love this journey that I'm on. And, started my career in traditional staunch world of finance right out of college. And 22 years later, here I am as a independent investment advisor and entrepreneur here in Southern California. And, as we were talking about offline, just, into everything, swinging away. I'm the yes man, right? I have made a promise to myself as a younger man. I will never look back one day in my life and say, what if? I won't be on my deathbed, wondering, right? I love the quote, we want to die with memories, not dreams, right? And that's how I live my life.
Yes. That is powerful. So what brought you to this place?
I believe that everything happens for a reason and it's perfect timing. Right. And I think oftentimes, and all the listeners can attest to this, that you had a particular vision, right, for your life, and this will happen and this will happen. Right. And I love the Mike Tyson, right, one of the most feared heavyweight, boxing champions of all time, preparing for a fight. And the interviewer came up to him and said, Mike, your opponent tonight says he has a plan. He has a plan to beat you. And Mike Tyson said in response, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. Right.
Love it.
and that's like us, right? Like, oh, this will happen. I'll graduate college, and then I'll be married by 25 and have a kid. And and life just is like, no, I've got different plans for you, right? And so I think I am here in this perfect place right now, having this conversation with you right now, because this is exactly where I'm supposed to be right now. Does that mean that everything has gone my way? No. Does that mean that I've gotten all the fortune and spoils that I thought and think that I deserve? No, but through trials and through tribulations and through challenges and through curveballs and caves and valleys and whatever else you want to call it, I've gotten to this place, right? In this perfect place. And I love where I'm at. I've got, obviously starts with family. I've got a great support, great family, great love, 3 children, and that's my purpose. That's my why. And so everything that I'm doing in business and community, like I mentioned to you before, is all about giving back. Right. I'm here. Most recently, I'm excited about a new project that I just launched, Mind, Body, Money. It's a reality series that I created. I'm starring an executive producer in, and kind of chronicles my life working with athletes, entertainers, all the way down to your average men and women, and this journey that we all have, that we're all on, and finding balance between mindset, health and wellness in our body, and good stewardship of our money, right? And gone so far as to create an app that's on the App Store, Mind, Body, Money on the App Store as well, where you can watch videos and on mindset and do workouts and find out about nutrition and find out about wills and trusts and real estate and insurance and investments and all these things that we're asked and forced to make decisions on in life, yet never given a rule book or any guidance on how they work and how things work. And so that's my here. I'm here to be a light. I'm here to be a blessing. I'm here to be an inspiration to, everyone that I meet. And how will I end up, right? Where will things, fall for me in the future? Your guess is as good as mine, right? But I've learned, and
it'll be right.
I'm 100% focused on the process. I'm 100% focused on what I can do. I say I want to win every day. I want to crush every day, right? So focus on the process, and I've learned to be completely detached from the outcome. What will be, will be. I don't control that. I don't control what you do or the next guy or the next lady. I only control me. So I'm going to give 100% effort in everything I do. I'm gonna act with integrity. I'm going to act with honor, and I'm going to, maintain my core values, and then whatever will be at that point.
Okay, so take me back. Take me back to the time where you discovered all of this beauty and this goodness. Because I know, you could have, but there usually is a catalyst for when you make that shift into inspiration. So take me to a place where, you were opening up or being guided in this direction.
Yeah, I think, I'm a big believer of nurture over nature. I believe we were all made and inherently a particular way, but it is our environment, right? It's our nurture that really shapes who we are and who we become. And I think inherently, believe it or not, I'm a pretty shy person. I'm pretty introverted, stay to myself, don't like conflict. And as a result of growing up and being an athlete and playing sports and then being in business, I've had to develop that, that bigger personality and getting out there. But, it starts with my parents, right? My name, Eszylfie, is a unique name. My father's from Ghana, West Africa. Eszylfie, son of God, right? And so I've got a lot to live up to. Thanks, Dad, for setting the bar so high from the jump, right? And, my mom is from the South, Jim Crow South, right? Overcame a lot of adversity. That's where I get the manners and the chivalry, right? The Southern charm, right? From my mom. So, one thing that they certainly did is they instilled a very high level of self-worth in me, belief in me, and this set the bar high, right? My father used to tell me as a child, right? Be the best or among the best. Every day when my mom would drop me off at school, when I'm getting out of the car, she would say, be a trendsetter today. And these are the lessons, right? I'm 11 years old walking around the playground with the Wall Street Journal in my hand in a Harvard sweatshirt, right? Like that was like, like that's where my head was at, right? That was the bar that was set for me. And so, I don't know that anyone who's known me from even a young child that would look at me today and go, wow, Eszylfie's doing what? They'd be like, yeah, that was all right. Right. So, I've just done this and going through high school, and one of the things I say, we all have a different path, right? And I would be remiss if I didn't point out the fact that I have privilege, right? And we oftentimes will think of privilege and we'll think of a white person, but I have privilege, right? I grew up in Southern California. Right, it's 75 degrees right now, right? This is my life, right? My father was a doctor, my mother was a government employee. So I never wondered if I was going to have food on the table. I never wondered if I was going to have a roof on my head. I never wondered if I was going to have clothes. Right. I never.
You had a different experience.
Yeah, I had different experiences. And I always say, how do you develop grit? And this is a challenge I have as a father. I've got 3 girls that have more privilege than I have. Right. And so now I go, how do you develop grit without struggle? Right. Because ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Yeah. Right. So for me, at least, it was through education, right? I graduated top of my class, magna cum laude with a degree in business. I had to work for that, right? I'm a collegiate athlete, right? I had to work for that, right? And so—
Were you a hooper?
Yeah, I played basketball. Blessings. I got inducted into the Hall of Fame of my high school this last year. I was a 4-sport.
Nice. Congratulations.
Letterman in high school. I played football, basketball, baseball, ran track. And so that is where I developed that grit. And then that translated then into business, right? Oh, you mean self-awareness, accountability, working with the team, motivation, all of those same traits. And this is what I'm talking about, nurture, right? That I had to develop to succeed in school, to succeed in life, then simply translated into business. I've been in a basketball game down 20 points in the third quarter before. And I learned, okay, you don't give up, you keep fighting, you can come back and you can win.
Yes.
Right. And so how does that translate into business? For all the success I have today and the home I live in and the car that I drive, and if you Google me, you're like, man, this guy is so lucky. It's amazing how lucky you get when you work hard. I can also tell you a time, my friends, where I didn't know how I was going to afford gas in my car, where I didn't know where my next meal was going to come in. This is from an adult man, right, in business, right? Because if you have a choice, and all the business owners out there can attest to this, there was a choice, man. I got to make payroll, or I got to pay my mortgage, and I got to pay my people, right? They got to eat, you know. And again, a lot of these things are self-inflicted. I'm not even going to put it's these people that held me down, man. These are choices, right? These are choices that I made, mistakes that I made, that I had to live with the consequences in. And so for me, it's the success. I'll say this phrase, it's I'm here in spite of.
Yes.
In spite of the failure, in spite of falling, in spite of being lied to, in spite of being stolen from, in spite of being misled, right? In spite of being hated on, I persist. Yet I persist, right? And that's here. I've come to believe full-heartedly that the most successful people in life are simply those who can endure the most pain.
Mm-hmm.
The people who can endure the most pain, the people who can endure the most trial and tribulation, you win. And it's not the most talented, it's not the smartest, it's not the best looking. It's those who can endure the most pain. Right? And at the end of the day, it's kind of like, remember when we were kids, we played musical chairs, right? Mm-hmm. Music stops, you keep pulling the chair and pulling the chair, and it's like, you're the last one today, you win, right? Hey, I guess I'm the champ, right? And that's the way I look at, I look at life. There's so many talented people that I've met, smart people that make $50,000 a year. And there's people I've met that I scratch my head and I'm like, this guy, multimillionaires, but right place, right time, grit, right, determination and high pain threshold. There it is.
Yes, that went way deeper than I thought, but that was amazing because that actually sums up how you win. Just like you said, you are able to experience the pain thresholds, and you're able to, even though you didn't come from a time or a life of struggle, you're still able to understand and not really embrace the struggle, but just move through it, and know that it's not here to stay. It's just here to play, you just get on through it. Right.
It does not rain forever. Right. Storms pass. Right. And I love the adage, not all storms come to destroy us. Sometimes storms come to clear our paths.
Yes.
And sometimes maybe there were people in your life or circumstances that you were in that you thought you needed, and then the storm comes. But you know what happens in the face of adversity, right? You know what happens when there's, right? Like anything that's not solid, using a biblical reference, right? You build a house on the sand, what happens? It washes away. But that's that firm foundation, your core values, those people who are really with you, really, really riding with you. When that storm comes, right, all the wishy-washy people, they're gone. Mm-hmm. Right. And now when you wake up, last man standing, last woman standing, like, I'm still here. Oh, and you're with me. Now, I got real ones, right? Like I got real ones because we went through this storm. And without that storm, you wouldn't have known that those other 12 people in your life, they weren't really there for you. Right. Because I always say character is how you act in the face of adversity.
Yes.
It's real easy to be pleasant when things are going your way.
Yes, it is.
It's real easy to be helpful, right? When you think you can get something from somebody.
Yeah.
But when you have no reason to be kind, when you have no reason to trust, when you have no reason to believe, then how do you act?
Yes.
Then who are you?
Yes.
Right. And that's the thing for me, right? And I'm far from a perfect person. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there, but like, I hate Eszylfie, right? But the one thing that is not that I make mistakes, but I don't act in malice. Right. I don't act in malice. I'm not like my true being to the core of who I am, right, is to just be that authentic person that enriches the world and helps other people. Right. And sometimes it might not be received that way, but that is at least my intention.
Yes. And that's powerful that you even set those type of intentions, because everybody doesn't, it's like, especially as a person in business and in the industry that you're in.
Yeah.
So speak to that. How do you stay in authenticity in the industry that you're in?
couple, I mean, take one from a regulatory standpoint. I'm in the most highly regulated industry you can be in, right? In the financial services, so that's it. But I think more so, if you think about really what I do for a living, what am I selling? What's the actual product that I'm selling? I'm selling life insurance. I'm selling disability insurance. I'm selling mutual funds and stocks and different things, right? And when you think about it, what is life insurance, or what is a stock, or what is a mutual fund? It is an intangible thing, right? It's a piece of paper and a statement that you get. Right. So ultimately, what are people really buying?
They're buying you.
They're buying me, right? They're buying me.
Yes.
They're buying their belief in the fact that I'm there to guide them, right? And help them, protect their families, protect their businesses, accumulate money, protect their money, whatever it is, right? So I'm constantly reminded in my industry that my character must be beyond reproach, yes. Right? My behavior has to be at the highest level, because at the end of the day, I'm the reflection, right? I could have the best mutual fund in the world. I could have the most comprehensive insurance plan in the world. And if you do not know, like, and trust me, you're not doing business with me. Bottom line.
That's a real thing.
Right? So that's what you're buying. Right. And so for me, I don't sell on rates, and I don't sell on performance, and I don't sell on fees. Obviously, you want to add value to your clients. I sell on relationships and connectivity and trust. If your best friend says, hey, I went to this wonderful restaurant yesterday, you should go. What will you do?
I'll go.
I saw the funniest movie last night. You should watch it. What will you do? You'll watch it because you trust the recommendations. You trust the opinion of that friend.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing for me. So I've spent 22 years mastering my craft, right? And now if I'm an expert in terms of aptitude, right? I've got licenses on licenses. I got my life health. I've got a series 6, 63, 65, 7, right? I own my own company. I own 8 companies, right? So what in finance and insurance and planning have I not seen before, right? Right? So I have the pedigree, but now it comes down to, okay, but do I like this person? Do I trust this person? Or do I vibe with this person? And if those two things are there, it's not a matter of if we're doing business, it's just a matter of when and how much you want to put with me, right? And so that's how I live my life and run my business.
That is so awesome, because the thing is in the type of business that you have, you are so right. It is so relationship based. Because I feel the same way. It's like, if I don't like you and I don't want to talk to you, then I'm not going to give you my business.
Right.
It's just not going to happen. And you know what the wild thing is people don't always realize that is what it is.
Yeah.
It's almost like when you go in a store, and if they follow you all around the store, trying to see if you're going to steal or whatever, like they typically do for us. I'm not gonna buy in that store. I don't give a shit if it's what I want. I'm not buying. Yeah. Because this is how you treated me. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's the same type of thing. If a person, you develop a relationship with a person and they like you and all that stuff, then they'll buy, and they'll buy whatever you suggest, right?
Yeah, and it's said oftentimes people will forget what you say, but they won't forget how you made them feel, right? If you can make people feel like, hey, this person's here, they're genuine. And again, none of us are perfect, none of us are blameless. We're gonna make mistakes. It's human nature, it happens. But people know and trust in your heart, like, nah, this is a good person. Like I'm gonna ride with that. And then again, I think business comes. For me, when I engage a client, if they don't buy from me, I never say to myself, oh man, I need to go find a new product, or oh, I need to go recalibrate my proposal. I always say to myself, the relationship isn't strong enough. And rather than going back and retooling the product, I go back and strengthen the relationship. Hey, can we catch dinner? Or I'd love to have you and the kids over for a play date. Like just something that I can continue to connect and really, one, get them to know me better and also understand them. And maybe in that connection, I'm like, I missed something. It wasn't this that they were concerned with. This was this. Okay. Because I say all the time, I don't sell products, I solve problems. But I can't solve someone's problem if I don't know them, if we're not connected, if I can't get them to open up and tell me really what's ailing them. And when I know that, well then I've got solutions, and so that's how I move.
So speak to that as far as business goes, because a lot of people have no idea. They're clueless to this fact that, its relationship is the key. So speak to that as far as if someone was watching you and they were, starting to do business or whatever, and they started having those type of situations where, the people weren't responding to them in the way that they thought, favorably or whatever. Speak to that situation as to how they could address that.
Yeah, I mean, one, relationships and authenticity is key. I think one of the biggest issues that most people have in business, and make no mistake about it, everything is sales. No, Eszylfie, I'm a doctor. You're in sales. You're trying to sell someone on the fact that they can come in and trust you to care for them, right? But no,
Yeah.
Eszylfie, I'm not in sales. I do computer programming, right? You're still selling people to come in and allow you to work on their hardware. Everything is sales. The challenge with sales is, and this is so true, there's no perfect product. I don't care if you sell t-shirts, handbags, insurance, investments, real estate. There's always a better deal than you have. I guarantee it, right? I guarantee it. But one of the things I say, I have a whole coaching system. I invite any of the listeners to check it out. It's called the Taylor Method, taylormethod.com. I've got a website there. I've got a YouTube page. You can watch my videos. But the whole premise of the Taylor Method, I call it the objection-free sales process. And this comes about again because I don't sell products. I solve problems. Example, Tammi, imagine, if you will, that this pen in my hand is a hammer, right? And Tammi, I'm gonna sell you this hammer, okay? It's got a nice stainless steel finish and a nice rubber grip, and it's really effective. It's a really nice hammer. Tammi, do you want to buy this hammer from me?
No.
Right? Yeah, you're like, yeah, I'm good, Eszylfie.
I don't need a hammer.
All right, Tammi, let's go through this scenario. Tammi, thank you for allowing me to come to your home for dinner. It's a lovely home you have, right? But I couldn't help but notice that wall over there has a hole in it, Tammi. And it's winter, it's the rainy season. And if rain gets in that hole, moisture builds up, right? Moisture builds up and you can get mold, and this entire structure can be compromised. How does that make you feel, Tammi?
Oh, terrible.
Right? Tammi, I happen to have a hammer. And with this hammer, I can fix that hole in the wall. Tammi, do you want this hammer?
I think so, because you know why? I need that hole fixed.
Right. So what we want to do is not sell the hammer. We want to sell the hole in the wall. So my whole premise with the Taylor Method is I don't have to be perfect. And you know what? I'm not perfect. I just have to be better than what you have. And if the alternative to you doing business with me is a hole in the wall that compromises everything you built, I think you'll take what I have, right? I reference this as the drowning man's issue. Tammi, you're in a boat in the ocean, middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
Your boat is tipped over and you're flailing away for your life, just trying to make it. And I combine a lifeboat with a life preserver, right? Tammi, do you care if that life preserver is yellow, green, orange, polka dot? It really doesn't matter, right? Eszylfie, throw it to me, right? This is the position that I believe, like my clients in financial services, right? Everybody, listen, none of us are getting out of here alive. Oh, that life insurance? No, not me. Yeah, and you. None of us are getting out of here alive, right? Planning for the future retirement. I got time, right? There are no loans in retirement. So if you don't save enough and you run out of money, oops. You have to do these things. It's a drowning man's issue. You must take this life preserver. Oh, you don't like its polka dot? Because if you don't, you will drown, right? And I see some other people on the horizon also flailing away too. So if you don't take this, I'll be working with the next person. Would you like the life preserver or not? Right? And so in anyone who's watching this, all you have to look at in your respective industry, what is the drowning man issue? What problem does my good or service or product solve? And can I fix that for this person? Right? And when you can make your business, when you can make your offering about solving a product or solving a problem rather than selling a product, even when you think about like fast food restaurants and things like that, or most things, most commercials you see, they're telling stories. They're telling stories, right? They're creating narratives, right? So we don't want to sell the product, right? You know, recently there was a fast food commercial and they're showing this little girl from being like a little kid all the way to the adulthood and showing her ordering food all the way up to the point where she's now got family and kid. And it's showing like, oh, that narrative is this is for generations, and this is growth, and this is that feeling. Oh, I remember when I was a little kid, it's the feeling, right?
Yes.
Do fast food restaurants have the highest quality food?
No.
Probably not, right? Yet you'll go there, yet you watch that commercial and you still have a visceral feeling, like, because you're like, oh man, I remember I used to get that too, right? When I was a kid, right? And so that's what they're tapping into. So that's what we want to tap into, because when you make it up, numbers and spreadsheets and analytics, you can always be beaten, right? Yes, Eszylfie, you're a great investment advisor, and I see you did this return for your clients last year, but my other advisor returned 0.5% better. And the fee was like 10 basis points lower, so I'm going to move, right? So I'm not making it about performance or a fee. Right now, again, you'd have to be fair, right? But if I'm in line, if I'm in the ballpark and our relationship is solid, you're rolling with me.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's true. It's like you'll go someplace and you'll buy something because people treat you good. Like you go in a store, and regardless of what store it is, they treat you good, so you'll buy.
You'll pay a premium.
Yeah, I was gonna say you'll pay extra. You'll pay more than what you might pay someplace else. You know, you might could get the same thing at Walmart, but you're in Macy's and they treat you better. You know, and so you buy that. So I'm just, yeah. So that's like, that is so key. You know, when you're in business, and people, I think a lot of people miss that. You know, they miss this section of
and in large part, right? I mean, a lot of these things, I think I had some, you talk about how did I get to this point? I think I've always naturally been a people person and like to connect with people, but these are just hard lessons. I mean, Tammi, by my estimation, I think I've done something like 25,000 client meetings in my career. 25,000. So you can
imagine, learn a little bit.
Imagine the number of times I've heard no. Right?
I was gonna say, yeah, to learn a little bit, have a little thick skin.
So this whole methodology and my psyche and everything isn't like, I wish I could say like, oh, I've been like this since I was a kid. You mean getting some of the core stuff, but this is just all years of like growing and challenging. And that's the thing, right? And even now, I'm not a finished product. I was saying, in life, you're green and you're brown, you're growing and you're dying, right? You're getting better, you're getting worse. There's no staying the same.
Yes.
Right. So for me, even if it's just a little millimeter, I want to forge forward on to be just a little bit better every single day.
Yes. So we're gonna wrap this up. And what I want to do is I want you to just share one last thing with people that are watching you and, you know, looking to connect with you. Share one last thing, and then also share with the people where they can find you, where they can connect with you.
I would encourage everyone to, like I said, you want to die with memories, not dreams. Whatever it is that you want to do, wherever it is that you want to be, go for it. And don't listen to the naysayers. Don't listen to the doubters, because invariably those are the people who are just too afraid to take risks themselves, too afraid to put themselves out. Right. So they put that on you. I love the Theodore Roosevelt quote. It is not the critic that counts, not the man who points at how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who's actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. But who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best in the end knows the triumph of high achievement, and at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls that neither know victory or defeat. Right? So you are the man, you are the woman in the arena.
Yes.
It's not the critic that counts. Yes. Right? So you just got to be out there and do the work. The elevator to success is broken. You got to take the stairs.
Nice.
So I'm here, Eszylfie Taylor. Google me. I'm easy to find. Eszylfie, Eszylfie Taylor. Follow me on social media, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. I'm here. Follow the Mind Body Money Show. Download that app, Mind Body Money. One other thing I didn't mention as well, I'm a very proud owner and lead investor in the first Black-owned, nationally distributed ice cream company called Creamalicious.
Nice.
Get your Creamalicious today. It's out there.
What is it called?
It's called Creamalicious. You can find us at Walmart. You can find us at Target. We have pop-ups, Kroger's, Schnucks, Myers, nationwide distribution there. And it's literally an ice cream for us, by us. We've got flavors like banana bread pudding, sweet potato pie, red velvet cheesecake.
Nice.
Sugar bourbon. So it's for us. So we have seven SKUs there. So, I'm out here doing the thing, right? Doing the thing, swinging away. Like I said, I don't know where it will land, but I'm here to support you. I love your support in turn, and I'm here to help and be a blessing. So I appreciate you so much for having me.
Yes, this has been amazing. I absolutely love it. I was thinking I was like, your parents are probably so proud of you. This is like so amazing.
When I graduated college, my dad was in my apartment with me and my friends, and I used to love cake, so I had this big cake. And I remember I was just crying, and I was just like, man, because I was scared. I'm going to the real world, like graduate college, right? And my dad said, this is just the beginning, right? Like, this is just the beginning. And that phrase is just like, man, it warmed my heart at that moment. And I'm like, okay, this is the beginning. Like, you got to keep forging forward. So even where I am right now, this is Tammi. This is just the beginning. Like, we got work to do, right? And so I'm if I'm blessed enough to live another day, right, then I'm gonna keep making it happen. So win the day, everybody. Win the day, crush the day, no what ifs. Yeah. Appreciate you so much for having me.
Yes. And it's been a joy. I really, it's funny because I've interviewed a lot of people now, and I didn't realize how many until I started going back looking. I was like, oh, and to me, it's almost like each and every interview is amazing. It's not even, and it's different because I never really have expectations. You know what I mean? I used to, but I decided, we're going to roll with it, and it's been just so amazing, and just, and it's wild. It doesn't even matter who it is, you know what I mean? Or what they're doing, you know what I mean?
Assumptions are the root of all disappointment.
Yes, absolutely. So I go into it with knowing it's going to be good.
Open to receive. Yeah.
Yes. And open. Yes. Because believe it or not, each person that I interview, I receive from, I know that my purpose here is connecting people, and that's what I do. And this was purely given to me by Spirit, because I wasn't doing this. The Spirit was like, I want you, to do this. And so I started where I was, what I could do on YouTube, and then it's grown from there, and it's been amazing. But each and every episode is like so life-changing, I think.
Well,
this
kudos,
one does not disappoint.
Kudos to you also for having this vision and seeing it through and sharing this. And I'm proud and blessed to be a small part of that. So
yes, absolutely. So with that, we're going to go. He's got his information. It'll be in the show notes as well. So you'll be able to, look at that, click on it, all that kind of stuff, to connect with him, because he's a powerful man to connect with. And I'm super excited that he has chosen to come on my show. So again, thank you for coming, Eszylfie. It's been amazing. And thank you all for joining us on Straight Outta Savannah. We'll be seeing you again soon. Bye now.
Thank you.
I know you've been blown away with the amazing value here today. Now go out and inspire the planet. And be sure to send us a message when you're ready to come talk about it on Straight Outta Savannah. Talking with Tammi.